about, but I was just thinking as you were speaking about just the examples you gave about confronting the problem now and doing what it requires, as opposed to when saying, "Well, I'm gonna do a wait and see attitude." It's not that serious yet. I'll move when the court issues a judgment,
Right.
and they send folk out to enforce. That's when I'll move. I'm not gonna move right now. And I'm also thinking about what we talked about last week on the show, which was such a
Right.
compelling conversation on wills and wills and estate, in terms of just being able to do that now. Getting a competent, qualified lawyer doing that now, as opposed to saying, "Well, I'll just wait." Hurricane
Yeah.
and then COVID-19 happened, takes
Yeah.
you out. You are no longer around, and people are fighting, mentioning your name. They can't
Yeah.
dig you up from the grave, but they're invoking your name every day, fighting, and it's like a bloodletting. People hate each other because you exit the stage without the necessary legal preparation that could have been done to avert the warfare that follows your demise.
Exactly. And I want to put that all together because it ties right into the event. And in 10 years of experience, that I've seen, that I've had, the biggest detriment is really not acting and not being prepared before the thing happens. And it goes for, like you mentioned, for court action, right, for civil litigation, which is what my firm covers, and for probate and estate planning, which is what we also cover. So the court issued something against you. Somebody died. You got real sick. Now you lost your competence. Like that thing, that happens, and then that's when people want to take action. And yeah, there are still some things you can do, but guess what? You lost a lot. You lost a lot of options. You lost a lot of guidance. You lost a lot of time, and it's going to cost more. So that's the whole entire premise of the event we're having on October 25th. So I like how you kind of set that up, because it just ties right in together. Because again, it crosses different segments of legal areas. And one thing I'm thinking about in particular is, like, let's say a case of somebody who with Alzheimer's, okay, which I've seen a lot of recently also. And I'm not blaming this person, their family, anything like that, but it's just something people don't really consider until it happens again.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you have a healthy individual, they're now losing competence, they're not able to care for themselves. There was nothing in place. There's no power of attorney in place. There's no kind of estate planning document. So now you have to go along as it happens. And
But you saw it coming. The gradual state of
perhaps,
declination was coming,
right,
perhaps. Okay.
Right. Sometimes it's sudden, sometimes it's gradual. And so in that instance, then you have to go to court, right? You have to, because this person cannot defend themselves anymore. They can't make their own decisions anymore. That's when you have to take it to court to get the judgment, to be able to make decisions on behalf of that person. And that's when a lot of the fighting can start happening, because this person may want this way of treatment, this person might want another, and then there's just who wants to control, right? So, and that's when it costs more time, more money, more stress before the court, as opposed to getting it all done on the front end when the person is healthy and getting something like a power of attorney in place. And that's the option you lose. And I think that's what people don't consider, because they're so used to going to court, and fighting it out and hashing it out, which is fine. You can do that if you want to, if it comes down to it. But I'm always trying to just, explain the benefits of acting before whatever it is that legal linchpin happens. Because once it happens, then you have to start at that point. And you have to, there's only so much you can do to go back. You really can't. You have to kind of start with where you're at, and then moving forward, you have to be able to work with the situation as best as possible. And that looks a lot different than if it were to be, 10 steps ahead, and then you had maybe 10 more options available to you.
Right.
As opposed to now, you just have to go to court and that's it. And it's hard to get out of that once it's there. So again, it's all about the preparation. It's all about being ready for whatever challenge you're facing, and it's all really about taking that action before you're forced, and before you don't want to be forced to do something, right?
Well,
but at this point in time, you have to. It doesn't have to be that way.